Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-bending and controversial theories of our time. Are we living in a simulation? Inspired by the Matrix movie franchise, this question has fascinated scientists, philosophers, and tech experts for decades. Could reality as we know it be nothing more than a highly advanced simulation? Is there evidence that suggests we're in a programmed world rather than a physical one? What do leading thinkers and researchers say about this theory? Buckle up, because this is going to be a deep dive into the nature of existence, technology, and the very fabric of reality itself. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. While we'll be discussing well-researched theories and expert opinions, nothing in this video is definitive proof that we're in a simulation. These are hypotheses, scientific discussions, and philosophical ideas that are meant to challenge our perception of reality. With that said, let's jump right in. The idea that reality could be an illusion isn't new. Philosophers like Plato, Descartes, and Berkeley have long questioned the nature of existence. Plato's allegory of the cave describes prisoners who see only shadows on a wall and believe that's reality. Descartes famously said, "I think, therefore I am," suggesting that the only certainty we have is our own consciousness. But in modern times, this ancient skepticism has taken a new high-tech twist, the simulation hypothesis. One of the most famous versions of this theory comes from Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom, who proposed the simulation argument in 2003. His hypothesis states that if a civilization becomes technologically advanced enough to run perfect simulations of conscious beings, then almost all civilizations will reach this level of advancement. Such civilizations would run billions or even trillions of simulations of reality, and if that's the case, then the number of simulated realities far outnumbers one real reality, making it statistically more likely that we are in a simulation rather than a base reality. This argument suggests that we might be digital beings living inside a hyper-advanced computer program without even knowing it. While this may sound like science fiction, some real scientific observations add credibility to the idea that we could be inside a simulation. One of the biggest clues comes from the limits of our reality. In video games, digital worlds are made of pixels. Some scientists believe the Planck length, the smallest possible unit of space, suggests that our universe also has a fundamental resolution, like pixels in a simulation. If the universe were truly infinite and continuous, we wouldn't expect to find such a limit to how small things can be. Another fascinating piece of evidence comes from quantum mechanics, particularly the observer effect. When particles are not being observed, they exist in multiple states at once, wave function. But the moment they are observed, they collapse into a definite state. Some theorists argue this suggests reality renders itself only when observed, just like how video games only render what's on the screen rather than generating an entire open world at once. Beyond physics, there's also the strange phenomenon known as the Mandela Effect, which some believe could be a sign of glitches in the Matrix. The Mandela Effect refers to large groups of people remembering historical events differently than recorded history. Examples include people swearing that the Berenstain Bears used to be spelled Berenstain Bears, or believing that Nelson Mandela died in prison when official history says he didn't. Could these be signs of errors in the code where past realities were overwritten? Then there's the cosmic speed limit, the speed of light. In video games, movement is limited by the programming of the game engine. In our universe, the speed of light, 299,792,458 meters per second, is the absolute limit for how fast anything can travel. Why is that? Could it be that our simulation has constraints similar to how a video game has processing limitations? Some scientists have also pointed out that DNA operates like computer code. A scientist named Dr. Vlatko Vedral suggested that quantum information, essentially bits of data, is what makes up our universe. MIT researcher Seth Lloyd went even further, stating that the universe behaves like a giant quantum computer processing information. Many great thinkers have weighed in on the simulation hypothesis. Elon Musk famously stated that there is a 1 in a billion chance that we are in base reality. He believes that as video game technology advances, it's inevitable that future civilizations will create indistinguishable simulations, and if that's the case, We are most likely inside one already. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, has said he believes there is a 50-50 chance that reality is a simulation. His reasoning, the way our universe seems fine-tuned for life, could indicate that an advanced intelligence programmed it that way. Dr. James Gates, a theoretical physicist, discovered computer code-like equations embedded in string theory, mathematical structures that make up the fundamental fabric of reality. This suggests that the universe might literally be coded like software. Not everyone is convinced. Some scientists argue that there is no direct evidence proving we're in a simulation. Even if future civilizations create simulations, it doesn't necessarily mean we are inside one. Quantum mechanics and cosmic laws could exist naturally, not as programmed rules. Some physicists, including Sabine Hossenfelder, argue that the universe's complexity suggests a real natural existence, rather than a programmed simulation. If reality is a simulation, the implications are massive. It could mean there's a creator, but that creator is a programmer, not a god. It could suggest life is not as meaningful as we think, or that we have an ultimate purpose within the simulation. It raises ethical questions about who or what is running the simulation and why. It could mean that reality can be hacked, altered, or escaped. Some even believe that our consciousness might be the key to breaking out of the simulation, much like Neo did in the Matrix. While there is fascinating evidence suggesting we could be in a simulation, there is no definitive proof yet. Whether or not we are, questioning the nature of reality pushes us to expand our understanding of existence, science, and consciousness. What do you think? Are we living in a simulation, or is this just a fun thought experiment? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of the universe.